This computer. Hello and welcome to this Thursday evening's content chat. Before we start, I just wanted to say hello, everybody. I know there's a few people missing because we're all getting quite busy. This will be the last content chat. This will be the last Zoom call from myself and Shane to the Circle Leaders Circle until Monday week because of a couple of things. The first thing is that we have a Facebook Live planned for Monday evening, which we are doing some prelude Facebook posts on. I think it's scheduled for 8 o'clock on Monday evening, and it's essentially going to be myself and Shane, we essentially interviewing Shane on a number of topics, essentially how we got here, and what's available, what's happening next in the basic form. We have also just had confirmation, literally just before we came on air, that Cafe Nero are good to go for Thursday the 18th in Belfast. So Karen will tell you all about it afterwards. It'll be great. Coffee, that sort of stuff. So that was that. So what I really wanted to do tonight was, well, there's one other thing was, you might have seen that I have done some training videos, 3 training videos. I'd really like some feedback on them. It's the first time I have done recording from a mobile. I know on one of the audio in the second half of it is a bit crap. But I've sort of since worked out, but I really couldn't be bothered at the time going back and re-editing them because it does take a bit of time. But please do give me your thoughts. I'm going to do more of them on, so far I've done the basic use of how to use Bizmerang, your home newsfeed and the home screen. Then I did something on circles and how they work, and then something on creating a post. So next thing I will do will be on discovery, how the discovery function works, and then events and courses. So, but the events and the courses one will be a little bit further down the line until we have more events running and we have more courses running. So in particular, I need to finish building my course and then I can talk all about it, how it works. So there we go on that. But as I say, please do give me your feedback. Has anybody had a chance to watch any of them yet? No.
Afraid not. Sorry about that.
God, I mean, I only posted them about an hour ago. So.
Oh.
we were so busy trying to up our content that we were focused on ours, not yours.
Tell us about that in a minute. Just to go with those videos, in the main newsfeed, I've added another topic, which I think is training videos or something like that. So that it works especially well in the search function. So when you're searching for training videos or whatever, but and I've also I've put links to those videos in 2 places. One, I have made a specific post called training videos, and that is a featured post in the main newsfeed, and then also in the doc that I did before about training or how to use Bizmerang or whatever, I've edited that as well and added the 3 training videos that we have to date at the bottom of that as well. So if you've got any other suggestions of where they might put them, sensible ones, please, and not where you really think they belong, then please let me know. Okay, so it sounds like you two, the one with the American accent, the one who actually is in America, have been planning some content. I'm presuming this is for Ulster Connections. Do you want to just, for the benefit of the tape, tell us a little bit about Ulster Connections?
Karen, you want to jump in?
Take over. So Ulster Connections, we have the circle set up as far as the logo, because that's my favorite bit.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks really good.
And it may be tweaked from time to time still. Then Eve has set up a Facebook page with the same title, Ulster Connections.
Yep.
And I let Eve is on fire. and is really passionate. Glad of the bright lights. So perhaps if you could update us from there.
Facebook has banned me from liking anybody's pages. So what I tried to do with the first 50 people who liked the page was go in and reciprocate and go to their business pages and like them as Ulster Connections. Well, Facebook has given me another excuse to want to flee their platform because for some reason my activity on it got me banned.
Yeah, know how they feel sometimes. No, I'm joking.
You're banned. You're banned. You just banned from liking other people's pages.
So right now,
you must have done them too quickly. Like do 3 at a time, and then have a cup of tea, and then do another 3.
Well, I will leave you to liking other people's pages as Ulster Connections because I'm not allowed for a while. But anyway, there were 2 reasons behind it. Because it's kind of funny that as I tried to escape my relationship with Facebook, I wound up creating a page. But the reality is, I think that we are always going to need a gateway. Absolutely. And there's going to be a big audience best reached that way. And those are going to be the friends and families and connections, the 2nd and 3rd degree connections that other people have that we would like to bring into the fold. I also think that come September, when people decide that whatever circle they've come into, they don't want to necessarily subscribe, it's good for us to have a place where we're keeping in touch, where we're literally giving them a place to continue to interact with the people they've met. But there has to be significantly different content because the content they're going to see needs to have, on the Bizmerang circle, needs to have value. And what I envision the Facebook page doing at that point is just having the very casual conversations or the invitations, the sort of thing that currently get generated on the Bizmerang group right now by the membership. So I am shooting for an involved and robust membership on the Facebook page. But again, it's really a feeder vehicle. Anybody have any questions about that one? Yeah.
So Eve, when you say, I quite like the idea there that you're saying the Facebook page remains a little more casual and then the circle has to have the value to entice people to pay. So can you foresee yourself some of the Facebook posts giving like a little snippet of an article or something, and then you can almost say, read more in blah, 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 blah circle? And,
absolutely.
And add in the link.
So I imagine Karen's husband, Mark, is in the process of doing a video in Washington with a Washington backdrop that illustrates the number of Ulstermen who were part of the founding of the U.S. And I would envision something like that being on the Facebook page and articles, experts, historians, whatever, producing and sharing their content in the circle so that the snippet or the invitation or the taste of is there, but that the meatier content, the stuff you're not going to get without a Google search. And interestingly, some of the stuff you'd find on page 2 or 3 that you wouldn't do a deep dive for, that's what you'll find in the circle.
Okay, can I just jump in there? A couple of things. First off, if you're going to, that's the first thing I was going to mention. When you look at Keto Quest, I know I keep going back to them, but they're actually very, very successful. One of the things that they say is that all the content that people pay for within their mighty network is actually can be found somewhere else for free. But what they do is they package it up into a course or a thing, but essentially the whole value that they're bringing is that they're bringing it all into one place where it's highly searchable and all that sort of stuff. So that's what you're paying your $20 a month for. So having said that, you might not want to, so having said that, so sharing posts out or links to posts out or bits of content from here sounds like a good idea, as you say, as works as teasers and all that sort of stuff. You finish it off with a byline, yeah, and you want to know more, come and join our circle in Bizmerang. The second thing is, though, just be careful that before you share it out, that the author is happy for you to do so, because they may have uploaded or added the content in the circle in the belief that it's just going to the circle members. So you might just want to check before you share something out to Facebook, etc., with the author that that's what you're going to do with it, and that they're happy enough for that. Just before, one last thing, Mike, so you catch up. We're talking about the Ulster Connections, the new circle that Karen and Eve have put together. Ulster Connections, essentially bringing expats together, and so they can connect with people in Northern Ireland as well, and with business people in Northern Ireland. So, okay, sorry. So I've said my bit now. There we go.
What's helpful is in that reflection is I was assuming that the direction of sharing was one way, that content wouldn't be going out from the circles. So clarifying that is really important. And it's not something I would have thought to clarify. So thank you. Sorry, Shane, I stepped on your tongue.
No. I was just going to follow up. You were talking about obviously using the, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, about using the Facebook page as a sort of a feeder. Also, what I'm doing at the moment, I've set up, because I'm planning to run a circle for lawyers in Northern Ireland. So I've set up a Twitter page for that in particular, and I've followed relevant people in that niche. So I only set up yesterday, I think, and I have about 60 followers so far, all local solicitors. And I've messaged them all, tell them what I'm going to do, and about 10, 15 have replied, all interested. So that's also a very quick and easy way to build up a community of people who are exactly who you're looking for.
Cool. I must admit, I am not a big Twitter user at all. I mean, really not. For somebody who's supposed to be a marketing strategy expert, I am really quiet. I'm a real lurker on Twitter, and even then I don't do that much lurking.
I think it's very useful for building a community, because one, just for that initial feeder stage, because you can look for other Twitter profiles that will have this type of people that that you would want as members in your community, and then you can follow them, and if they're interested in what you're doing, they will most likely follow you back, and then you can, if they're interested, you can send them a message, ask them if they're interested, and that's the start of that funnel, I suppose, to your actual circle community.
Well, it goes back to, I hate to hark back to what we were doing earlier, but your content planning and your marketing framework.
Yeah.
That initial top right-hand corner of the media, where you're creating that stimulus and awareness, then Twitter seems to really do it for us. So yeah, maybe we all learn a lesson from that. Brilliant. Cool.
The other thing with Twitter is, you called it lurking, but I would frequently encourage clients who have no interest in Twitter to establish a lurking account for themselves, to in fact follow the thought leaders in an industry, because when they post an article, so in my case, I no longer receive the counseling and psychological journals that I used to get when it was pretty much my full-time practice. One, I have too much to read as it is, but two, it's not my full-time practice anymore. However, I follow a half a dozen of the people who I respect, and if I see an article go up, that's the one I'm meant to be reading.
Yeah.
So I think that you're spot on, Shane, with as you come across people's content that serves everyone well, you then become the go-to person who's consolidating all of that, which in the end is the purpose of a Bizmerang circle.
Yeah, and as a curator, there's a curator of really good content. Yep. Again, there's nothing wrong with that as long as you're just out of just normal decency, naming the author and where it's come from and all that sort of stuff. Oh, great, cool. As our resident social media expert, Mikey, have you anything to add, or are you lurking?
There's nothing wrong with lurking. There's some of the channels I use exclusively for research, just gathering info on demographics and trends. But there's no particular value I can add as a brand. It doesn't align with my brand in the message that I'm capable of putting out. So I'm not producing enough content for certain channels to make it worth the while of the followers to follow me. But that's not to say they're not out there doing other things. So, and other brands that are competitors or similar brands but not competitors that are doing some really interesting stuff. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with lurking and research. We used to call it grooming on LinkedIn. But just because
no.
Yeah, I got a response. If you just called it researching your target demographic, that'd be. Well, when you called it grooming LinkedIn targets, it was profitable. But it wasn't that we were generating business in there. It was that we were looking for background information, which contributed to a larger marketing campaign.
Cool. Just on that, this little point you touched on there. About somebody not producing enough content to gather a big following, etc. One of the things that I'd like to push when we're recruiting hosts further on down the line is that if you wanted to run your own channel, then, and I'm just making the same point as I've made it many times before, if you want to run your own channel but don't think you're going to have enough content or enough people following you, and so therefore there's not going to be enough reason for them to sign in once a day or every day or once a week with you, etc., then in fact actually Bizmerang is where you want to be, because it's all the other circles around you that are also attracting people in. Just so you know, on our business model originally, we were thinking that our average circle might only have 10 members. So that was part of our original thinking. Now it's highly likely that now that we've got into it, that what we're discovering is that 10 members isn't really going to do it, because it really doesn't generate enough interest, enough content, enough interaction. So it's going to have to be a higher number than that. But just so you know that, that's the kind of circle size that we have contemplated in the past. Cool. So any other things? Mike, just another quick summary just before you came on. We have an agreement on the Thursday meeting with Cafe, or first meet up in Belfast. Sorry, the Tuesday the 13th, isn't it? Tuesday the 18th.
18th. Tuesday
the 18th in Cafe Near. It's all sorted, and there's some training videos that I would really love your feedback on as well, please. They're only about 11 minutes each, and there's 3 of them, so watch them.
I saw the post this afternoon, but I haven't had a chance to watch them yet.
That's okay, no worries. So any more for any more? Shane, could you just highlight for us quick? Oh, sorry, Karen, go ahead. Sorry.
Perhaps we can tell about this during the recording or after. I'm not sure, but I am still keen that the Ulster Connection Circle is up and running next week.
Your audio is breaking up there slightly, Karen. Can you say that again?
I think I am still hoping that our Ulster Connection Circle will be up and running with some content for next week. Is that still your hope, Eve?
So I was just getting ready to make another post. We have Mark's post. Do we have a post for Mark in there right now? But yes, I can't imagine that we'll need a huge news feed beyond the welcome, the why we're here, what we'd like you to do for us, and what we think we can do for you. I mean, Guy, Shane, your reflection on that?
So yeah, again, just go back to remember what we did originally. The first post is that as soon as somebody joins, ask them to ask them to post and tell a little, in your welcome message to them, just tell us a little bit about you, and that's just content straight out of the bat. And it also has shows people how to create posts and all that sort of stuff. The other thing, the idea about behind the training videos was to actually say, you can send them the link or share that post with them and say, look, just take half an hour of your day just to watch these videos, so you understand how this works, and that should also help people interact quite quickly as well. Yeah. Yep, cool. Any more? Shane, were you going to say something?
Nope.
Go on.
I'll just wiggle my ears again.
I was actually just going to ask you on the Facebook posts in Bizmerang Facebook group.
Yes.
How are we getting on those in the lead up to for our Facebook Live?
Yes. Well, I think I'll probably announce. I was waiting, obviously, to get confirmation from Cafe Nero that we were going ahead on the 18th, Tuesday the 18th. I don't know whether to announce that now or announce it on Monday. It's probably better earlier rather than later.
Yep.
Is my thinking. So, well, I need to get the. I suppose I should get the Eventbrite set up now.
Yeah.
And announce it. So I'll get that. Sorry.
Start with a save the date. Like, don't delay the announcement waiting to get Eventbrite started. Just put up a save the date post.
Okay. Well, I'll stick that up straight after this. And then I'll get the Eventbrite set up and get that up as quickly as possible, probably tomorrow morning. And then I'll also put a post out tomorrow informing everyone that there's going to be a Facebook Live on Monday evening. And then on Monday morning, I'll be sending out the newsletter to inform everybody. And also over the weekend, I will send out reminders of the big news coming on Monday evening in the Facebook Live, and just keep running that all weekend.
Is it okay for Karen and I to put up a post about Ulster Connections in the Bizmerang group, the Facebook page?
Could you save that until after the Facebook Live?
Yeah,
okay.
Definitely.
But as soon as it's done on the Facebook Live, actually, if I were you, I'd probably wait till a Wednesday or Thursday, because we'd like to let their Facebook Live get some traction, get a few views on it and all that sort of stuff, and have the members start coming in at that stage, and then absolutely hammer it and say Ulster Connections. So if you're thinking of exporting and all that sort of stuff, or you want to do business with people in Northern Ireland, we've started this fantastic circle and all that sort of stuff.
Oh no, I was talking about the Facebook page.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. If you have to. Yeah, of course, because it's a feeder for the
Right. Yeah. No mention of the circle coming or anything like that. Just that Karen and I had started the Facebook page. Is that okay to cross?
Well, do you know what? Actually, if you're just talking about the Facebook page, then I don't have an issue with it at all now. What would you say, Shane?
No, I don't. No, go ahead with the Facebook page now, because as you said, that's the feeder. But I would announce the circle next week.
Yeah, I would say that there's going to be an ongoing marketing required within the circle, and as new people find the Facebook, as people find the Facebook group, there's still going to be people coming into the Facebook group over time. There's going to be people who don't move over right away. So I'd say even coming directly from yourselves as admins for the page, profiling circles over time and content that's available is probably going to be an ongoing marketing thing anyway.
Well, absolutely. The other thing is we need to be an ongoing marketing thing purely because of Facebook's algorithm, and you probably know more about this than I might. That in fact, who's disappeared?
Eve.
Yes, my broadband is faltering.
Yep, no worries. That's what you get for living even further out in the sticks than I do. Content on Facebook, because Facebook's algorithm, whether it is or is not restricting people to 25 people, etc. If people are only coming into seeing posts from Facebook in their normal news feed, once, or for posts from Bizmerang in their normal news feed, maybe once every 2 or 3 days, then Facebook is picking up the latest comment that's coming in there. So it needs to be just a piece of content every day, for a while.
Better value, better reach in the fact that you're a group rather than a page. But yeah, it's a word of mouth campaign. You're trying to get people to share content, which is the hardest thing in the universe. But yeah, it's what you're looking for. It's material that resonates with them or their friends that they'll pass on.
Yeah. So just on that as well, Shane. See, when we're in this build up to when we're talking about save the date for Tuesday the 18th.
Yeah.
Can we make sure that that's if you're in Belfast and want to network, save the date, because that's the Belfast one. And I'd like the majority of the people in that one to be from Belfast. Now there's going to be other people there who are coming from outside who want to know more and all that sort of stuff, and there's also some maybe special guests or potential investors and that sort of stuff we might bring along as well. But primarily it is for those people in Belfast alone, and that will be attractive, and hopefully that will help us make sure we pack it out as well. Okay, cool. Any more? Yes, Karen.
So while we're on the topic of the Facebook Live next Monday and whatnot, is it true? I mean, Mike, you will know this. Is it true that so say for instance I'm watching Facebook Live on Monday, and I might be commenting along the way, but if I go back to it in 2 days' time and place another comment, does that bring it up to the top of some people's feeds again, or is that just a myth?
It'll in the group, if the Facebook Live's in the group or any post in the group, once somebody comments on it, it sort of knocks back up again.
Okay, so that's quite a good ploy then to keep that.
Yes, I was also going to say if any of the posts from now on about the new platform, if we could get on and comment on it and start that engagement, because a post that has a lot of engagement, a lot of comments, attracts more comments, more engagement. It keeps it in people's visibility, and like anything, if you see something's busy and if you see something has a lot of attention, it draws your attention to it and makes you want it more. It's like if you're driving past a nightclub and there's a big queue outside it, then you want to go to it as opposed to one that doesn't have a queue.
So that's actually the basic elements of SEO and Facebook's popularity algorithm, and same with LinkedIn and SEO, all works on those algorithms of trying to replicate human behavior. So if you really want to game SEO, the thing is to try and make everything that you do look like a lot of humans are really enjoying it and engaging with it. And the quickest way to do that is for Facebook is when they see people engaging with it, they are assuming that humans like this, and these particular humans like this, and so therefore it automatically starts making it more and more popular, which then attracts more people in, etc. So if you genuinely like it or pretend to genuinely like it, then Facebook will recognize that relatively quickly. And the same as I say in Google as well, and in Bing, it all works the same way.
Is Bizmerang on Instagram?
Sorry?
Is Bizmerang on Instagram?
No, not yet.
Do you want to put it there, Mikey?
For video reach, you want to be.
Really? Yeah. Okay. I know. I must admit, I'm even worse on Instagram than I am on Twitter. But I'll have a look at it tomorrow if I can, and set up an Instagram account for us. Okay. At which point I can start putting up our wonderful videos that you'll all have looked at and say, "Oh, Guy, I want to do this. Change that."
Actually, if I could put a shout out in there for Allison, in that she's not here to represent herself. Last night's event, at which 4 different VAs were profiling what they do, and there would be another person in Bizmerang called Esther Lawson Ocampo. There are people out there who will run for a relatively small amount, who will run a Belfast hour or a Bizmerang hour or an Instagram account or a Twitter account or whatever. So maybe one of our long-term goals really should be getting the finance together to just put a professional in charge of that.
That's not a long-term goal. That's a short-term goal.
At my age, 30 days is a long-term goal. Get a grip.
Cool. Okay. Any more? Go on, Karen. Put your hand up again. I love it when you put your hand up. Back in P4. Oh, Mike's gone.
More from Mike. The only other.
I have one stupid question then. So, Mark, then my husband is joining the Bizmerang and the circles and whatnot. Last night I was spending some time with him, showing them a little bit how to navigate it and whatnot. And one thing I noticed was, even page and went down to circles. I was just assuming that all the circles were, whenever I press on circles, a list of circles come up, but I must be in them. I was just assuming that all the circles that are available to us would come up. So how is a person meant to see?
Watch the video. Because if you are you doing this on your phone or in your
I'm on my laptop just now.
On your desktop. Okay, so if you go to when you go into circles, when you open the circle, so you go to circles. I think there's a filter on the circles or a way of selecting. I can't remember how it does it on the desktop, but on your tablet or your phone.
Yeah.
As I discovered, well, not discovered, but I've been messing about with all day on making a video on it. When you click on circles, it brings you up a list of circles, and the first list it brings you up is the one, it's yours. You'll see at the top that says yours something and then top. All right. So the first, it automatically goes to default, and it just shows you the circles that you're a member of. Then actually you can click the bit on the tap the bit at the top, and then it'll show you.
Look at all those. Look at all of those circles.
Yeah. And then when you go to the very far right-hand side, it's top. And that is actually a list of all the circles, but they're ordered into the most onto the most used and most popular.
Gotcha. I'm seeing them now. Thank you.
It does something similar on the desktop. I can't remember how to do it.
Great. Super.
Do watch the videos, because actually, I must admit, there's a lot of stuff in the videos that I didn't know yesterday. Because when I went through it, I just started pressing everything and testing everything and doing all that stuff. And actually, it was really helpful, really useful.
Great. I'll do that. Thank you.
Cool. Actually, I know what I want to ask you, Karen. Is Mark going to be a host in Ulster Connections? Do you want me to? Actually, you can make him a host in Ulster Connections.
I think I can make him a host. Now, I think Eve was suggesting that myself and Eve host.
I was actually suggesting that Karen host alone, because Mark and I would have, I don't know, reputations of our own. And so
I'll throw Karen under the bus. So great.
Karen is so lovable and not polarizing that I would love for her to be the face of Ulster Connections. And the mere fact that I actually live in Leinster could be problematic.
No, you don't. You live in Ulster, 9 counties. You don't live in Northern Ireland. You live in Ulster.
No, Louth isn't Ulster,
isn't it?
No.
Oh, okay.
You have to move.
Yeah.
Shut up then.
I just pretend I'm on the opposite side of the loch.
Good vote.
I always thought Louth was. God, I'll take that back then. Oof. Was it? It must be Monaghan. What is it? Monaghan, Donegal, and what's the other one?
Okay, well, that's interesting. So that's why Eve, you haven't.
Go on, Karen.
That's Eve. That's why you haven't accepted the host invite.
I actually did, and that's probably in one of the videos. But I'll get invited to a circle. I don't see how to opt in, but then when I go into the circle, I'm a member of the circle, which is what happened today with the Ulster Connection Circle. So prior to this meeting, I would have thought that I was actually in that circle.
Oh, I see you're a member.
And when it comes up on my list, it says I'm a host.
I invited you as a host.
So there you go. But I don't remember, which could be me, going through a process that affirmed or confirmed that.
I have no answer to that. I can't. I'd have to have a look at it.
Yeah.
I too. But you want to, Eve, just to clarify then, do you want to be, at this stage, do you want to be a member or a host?
So at this point, I'm happy to co-host. And then I think we should look at it as we're going down the road and we see what kind of because I think at this point, in terms of moving people from catalyzing connections and some of my other platforms, I have value.
Yes.
But at the point at which I cease to have value, it's really okay to take me off as a host.
Actually, that's just one last thing. Nobody sent. No, somebody did. One person did send me a list of the circles they want to keep open. That's one of my tasks for Sunday morning, is to make everything else secret, apart from the ones that you tell me to keep open.
So I made my network marketing one. I've made it secret.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in the process of putting lots of lovely content on my microbiome one.
Cool. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Forward after next week, what might be useful just to keep the marketing going is maybe to do Facebook Lives with the different hosts.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
On the Facebook group for the different hosts to talk about their particular circle and why they're so passionate about the topic, etc., what the benefits are, etc., etc., etc.
And why they're so passionate about Bizmerang, because you are.
Yes.
I'm forgive me, I'm not as familiar with Facebook Live. Could Karen and I do one together, or is it a single host and participants?
No, you can do one. You can do one together. I don't think either Shane and I have ever done a Facebook Live either. But there's lots of videos about them. So we're actually doing a rehearsal on Sunday morning. But
you can appear together even if you're not in the same location.
Yeah,
you can. But my experience of that is if sometimes when you go, like somebody starts it and then they invite the other person into the live. And it can be a bit ropey depending on the strength of the signal and whatnot.
Got it. Okay.
Right. Monday's going to be exciting.
So short answer is
Just keep smiling.
Shorter answer is, Eve, you and I have to move house move somewhere else before we can join a Facebook Live.
Absolutely. Well, actually, so for some of the groups, I do it in my study where I'm literally connected to an Ethernet cable.
Yeah.
Does
Facebook Live have to be done through a phone?
No, you can do it on your laptop.
Can you? You sure?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I'll shut up then.
I think so. Let me just check here now. I'll go into Facebook.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, we can update that people that on next Thursday. Okay, cool. Any more? Go on. That hand's twitching, Karen.
No.
Mikey?
All good.
All good. Eve?
Just fine.
Cool. All right. I'm sorry, Shane?
No, I'm fine.
Okay, so I'm going to stop the recording now. It's usually when I do this, all the really interesting conversations start. Anyway, thank you very much for joining, and I shall see you all soon. Bye.